What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I fit 35s on my Ranger with just a 2-inch lift. Obviously the specs are going to vary from Ranger to Ranger, so just going to quickly go over what mine has. It has a 2-inch lift in the front, stock leaf springs in the rear. It's on a 315/70 on a 17-inch wheel that is 8.5 inches wide with a +10 offset. So we're back here in the garage before the 35s were installed, doing some prep work before the 35s teared up a bunch of stuff inside. I had done some test fitting with some Bronco Sasquatch wheels, which is the same tire diameter that I put on the truck, and kind of know exactly what I needed to remove beforehand. So I'm going to show you step-by-step process of what needs to be removed. Alright, so starting with the back, your setup might be a little different than mine. I have these mud flaps here, and I also have the Bushwhacker OE styled fender flares that I need to pull back so I can access the rear fender liner, so I can pull it up, because we need to access this. It's like a block that's behind here that we need to remove. Alright, once you removed the fender flare, whether it's the stock one or aftermarket like I have here, pulled it back enough so you can access these two tabs that we have to remove. I'm missing one actually on this side. In order to pull the fender liner up like this, we'll need to remove those two. If you do have a Bushwhacker fender flare like mine, you are also going to have to trim. You see where that hole is? About pretty much from the end, about 2 inches this way. You're going to have to cut here to cut from this part sticking up, and you'll see momentarily what I mean. Also forgot to mention, because I didn't see it because it was covered in mud, but on the inside of the fender liner there's one tab over here that we need to remove as well. Alright, so once you get that fender liner up, this is what we're going to be removing, this whole block piece there. It's held in by 4 13mm bolts, so there's one here, 2, 3, and 4. Once you remove all those 4, the block will simply come out. Okay, so all the preemptive trimming that we've done has been successful. There's no rubbing anywhere. The only place it was rubbing, I did have to, if you do have these fender flares, I did have to cut a little more, about 1 inch more of the fender flare off. How it is now, it's no longer rubbing. The only place it is rubbing is here on the body. Now, this depends on the caster. So I did a preemptive, it was included with the place that I took the tires to. They did a free alignment, or not a free alignment, but a free assessment for the alignment. And this side, the driver's side, has -2.5 caster, and the passenger has -3. Now what this means is at -3, this on this side, on the passenger side, it does not rub this body piece right here. But what it does rub is it rubs the front bumper right here. So you kind of have to pick your poison. If you got an aftermarket bumper, you could probably run 3 degrees of caster and not have an issue with back here. Or if you have the stock bumper like me, you probably want to go to 2.5 and just either hammer in or cut this little piece off, and you'll be good to go. Alright, so for the front, we're going to need to remove this plastic bezel here. So how to do that, it has 2 10mm bolts on the bottom here, and then it has a plastic tab at the top that you'll need to remove. Also for the front, when going full lock, it does rub here at this point, as well as it rubs further down here. Now this point is more of a concern due to it being obviously a more pointed, sharp edge, and I didn't want it cutting into the tire. So ended up cutting that section there that you see sharpied off. Alright, so you can see what I cut. As you can see, I can just cut off that bottom piece there, cut up and across, and it is no longer rubbing. As you see, I did paint it, so it's currently drying. Always, whenever you do cut, make sure you paint so it doesn't rust. We just got back from Little Moab testing the truck, articulating, and see if it would rub anywhere. There is some more minor trimming that needs to be done, and I'm going to show you exactly what we need to modify slightly, so that way there's absolutely no rubbing. All right, into the wheel well. As you can see, I did go ahead and remove the factory fender liner. It was getting in the way a little bit, especially in this back corner here. And up here, it would just hang lower, and when you're turning the wheel, the tire would rub up on the fender liner. So I haven't had any issues running without it. I've been running without it for about a week. Have really no issues because everything is pretty covered up inside. So, but I do plan on putting some type of material here to protect from water and dirt and mud going all the way up inside. Now for down here where we are rubbing, as you can see, the metal there is bent. I do have to cut a little more of the body here so it doesn't reb, as well as if you do have these fender flares, it ended up rubbing here a little bit, so I got to cut up a little higher into it so that way it doesn't have rub. But other than that, everywhere else we are clear and good to go. So here's the end product. I cut about from here about another inch off, and then up here we also cut a little higher and a bit more of an angle, so now we should 100% clear. Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. If you liked the video and found it helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more off-road and overland adventures, and we'll see you guys in the next video.